Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having an Aries Sun and Pisces Mercury in a natal chart. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. What I'm talking about is having that Sun-Mercury combination, having an Aries Sun and Pisces Mercury in your chart. Now, the basic character, which is the Sun in this case being an Aries, can be a courageous, impatient, aggressive, assertive, outspoken, and combative. Now, communication, which is Mercury, can be, which is in Mercury being in Pisces, can be nebulous, a little bit maybe idealistic, more passive, inspirational, dreamy, and yet can be deceptive and duplicitous. Now, the Aries Sun, the Sun is about our basic wants, and the Aries Sun wants to lead, to be pioneering, to initiate and fight. And I don't mean necessarily instigating and starting fights with others, but standing up for people, fighting for others, fighting for themselves and their rights. Now, Mercury in Pisces talks about dreams, may talk about dreams, fantasies, ideals, may be a little ambiguous and cryptic in their communications at times. The true self, which is the Sun, in this case the Sun being in Aries, can be argumentative, disputatious, brave, and confrontational. Now, the thinking, which is Mercury, in this case Mercury being in Pisces, it could be about the metaphysical, which includes astrology, some other things, maybe poetry. It could be communicating about rescuing, and in the thinking, or at least thinking about rescued, I should say, these are, and also about their dreams as well. And Mercury and Pisces is dreamy energy, of course, and the person may often think, can contemplate about their dreams, their fantasies, and their ideals. And this combination, when you look at this, the thinking, which is Mercury, may be unrealistic. That's Pisces, and it could be associated with battles, which is Aries. It could be a person that wants to fight battles that don't even need to be fought, that might, enlarge upon a situation, and have it escalate to a point where it doesn't need to. And also, in the battles, of course, is associated with Aries. Now, the focus, and that's the, the Sun, being, in Aries, and it's a lot of, focus on, on those battles, and on, things, connected with leading, with being a pioneer, initiating things. And the feel is, but remember that, there is also, the thinking, the person, having again that Sun and Aries, Mercury and Pisces combination, the Mercury and Pisces by itself can be a little bit, gullible in terms of the, the thinking, and the person may be led to focus on fights that again don't need to be fought. Focus is our Sun, and Aries, of course, is connected with battles and fights. Now, the thing is, when you have an Aries Sun and Pisces Mercury, your Mercury is going to be positive before the Sun. And with Mercury positive before the Sun, the person may often think, which is Mercury, before acting, which is the Sun. The Sun is associated with actions. And it's about being more premeditated. The thing, too, is, the mind, which is Mercury, may be, maybe somewhat impressionable, though, and may have a proclivity to be influenced by others, which is Pisces. And the thing is, this may shine the light on communication, which is Mercury ability, if this is a conjunct aspect with each other. Now, let's say, for example, if the Aries Sun is at 2 degrees and the Pisces Mercury is at 28 degrees. That would form a conjunction aspect. Now, there's some people that, astrologers and astrology enthusiasts that don't believe in out of sign aspects. I mean, I believe in them. I believe they're still valid whether they're in sign or out of sign aspects. And in this example, I think I can illustrate why they're valid, because like say for in this example, the Aries Sun at 2 degrees and Pisces Mercury at 28 degrees. That would be a 4-degree disparity between the Sun and Mercury. And you still, even though they're in different signs, there's still friction between the two. I would say friction exists between the two because they're in such close proximity. So that's why I believe in them. And also, I apply this with the other aspects as well: the sextile, the trine, the square, and the opposition, and even the inconjunct aspect. I see the inconjunct aspect as a major aspect. Some astrologers see it as minor, but I see it as major. Anyway, now going back, okay, the Aries Sun. Now, the Sun in astrology is associated with the biological father. So the biological father may actually be an Aries Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or embody those characteristics. And Mercury is associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So it could be where this person may have a number of siblings, cousins, or neighbors that may actually be Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or embody those traits. And it's also about the perception of these people. Having an Aries Sun, well, the person may perceive the biological father as somebody that's very combative, outspoken, assertive, aggressive, courageous, person that doesn't procrastinate or hesitate on things, but at the same time may see this person as overly argumentative, disputatious, person that might be overly abrupt, maybe too aggressive, impatient, impulsive, and impetuous. Now, with the Pisces Mercury, the person may perceive a number of siblings, cousins, or neighbors that are, see them as very passive, idealistic, dreamy, forgiving, compassionate, and but at the same time may perceive these people as deceptive, duplicitous, gullible, impressionable, unrealistic, and nebulous and unclear. Now, what makes this combination interesting is that even though you're talking about adjacent signs, but adjacent signs do have can have a strong disparity between each other in the energy that's expressed. And I had a friend, if I'm not mistaken, had Pisces Mercury and Aries Sun, and even though his basic the Sun is the fundamental basic character, he was somebody that was very outspoken and aggressive and can be disputatious and argumentative, and having not someone that struck me as having an overabundance of fear of any kind, but yet he would, I think his thinking was about, often the way he would communicate would be about being passive. It was it was kind of ironic. He said to me one time that I needed to be more passive, and I thought that was funny coming from a Sun in Aries, and me having docile Taurus ascendant and a Cancer Sun, and Cancer Sun, the basic fundamental character is not known to be overly combative or anything or aggressive. So I thought that was interesting. But when I look, having a Pisces Mercury, I can understand why he would communicate in that, in that way, where his thinking at times can be about being, more passive and less about, confronting people. He even stated to me he wasn't the type to argue over, trivial matters. So he probably had a little more of an ability to walk away from potential disputes than the typical Aries Sun. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.